All right, so ever find yourself kind of like staring at that pharmacy counter, wondering what's actually happening back there behind all those shelves and bottles?
Yeah, it's like a whole other world.
Totally. And if you're thinking about, maybe being the one behind the counter, if a pharmacist career is on your mind, well, this deep dive, this one's for you.
Definitely.
We're going way beyond just like counting pills and slapping labels on bottles, right? We're talking about the nitty-gritty, the behind-the-scenes stuff most people don't even realize pharmacists do.
Exactly. And we're tapping into RoleCatcher.com for this one. They've got this whole platform, tons of info to help you actually land that dream pharmacist job and then, like, crush it as you build your career.
Because let's be honest, getting the job, it's only step one, right? We're talking long game here, folks. And luckily, RoleCatcher's career guide, pharmacist page, it's got the goods. Like, remember those lab coats you always picture scientists wearing?
Yeah.
Get ready to rock one yourself. This guide says pharmacists can spend a huge chunk of their day in the lab, some even up to 40% doing lab work.
Wow. That's a lot more than people think.
Right. We're talking quality control, making sure medications are good to go, analyzing how different drugs might interact.
Oh, yeah, that's crucial.
Even customizing meds for specific patients. It's serious stuff.
It really is. And it makes total sense when you think about it. All those tough chem and bio classes you probably took or are taking, they weren't just to, like, impress your relatives at holidays.
Definitely not.
It's the foundation for everything a pharmacist does. You got to understand how medications work at a deep level, how they affect the body, how to keep people safe. It's a lot of responsibility.
No kidding. And the guide actually calls that out.
Yeah.
They use words like strict protocols, talking about the serious science involved.
Yeah, it's not just handing out pills, that's for sure.
Not at all. But hey, that also means serious job security, right? I mean, everyone needs a good pharmacist they can trust.
Absolutely. That's definitely a plus. And when you look at the job outlook for pharmacists, it reflects that need, for sure. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The guide points out that it's not just about an aging population needing more meds.
Yeah.
It's that there are all these specialized pharmacist roles popping up now. We'll definitely dig into that a bit later.
Okay, so we've got job security, we've got all this incredible science happening. But what about the people skills? Like, you got to be good with people to be a pharmacist.
Oh, absolutely. You can't be stuck in the lab all day.
Right. And when I was reading through RoleCatcher's guide, one thing that really jumped out at me was how much they emphasize active listening. They say it's like a core skill for pharmacists.
It makes sense, though.
It does. Because it's not enough to just, memorize a bunch of drug names and dosages.
Right. It's about more than just the technical stuff. Think about it. A lot of times, you're the most accessible healthcare professional for people.
Oh, for sure.
They come to you with questions, concerns, anxieties even, about their meds. And you have to be able to actually listen, understand where they're coming from, and then communicate all that complex medical stuff in a way that makes sense to them, in a way that makes them feel heard. That's a huge part of being a pharmacist, that empathy.
It's like you're a science whiz and a communication guru all rolled into one.
Exactly.
And speaking of, the tech side of things, this one kind of surprised me. The guide lists computers and electronics as a key skill for pharmacists. Like, who knew? Pharmacists on the digital front lines.
Right. It's not all mortar and pestle anymore.
Seriously.
It's electronic health records, these automated dispensing systems. Heck, even AI is creeping into pharmacy now, flagging potential drug interactions and things like that. So yeah, pharmacists are using tech constantly these days to make things more efficient, more accurate, and ultimately to provide better care for patients.
Which, that actually makes me wonder, with all this tech transforming how pharmacy works, what about, like, the job search itself? Are we going to have robots interviewing candidates for pharmacist positions soon?
Well, maybe not robots exactly, but the algorithms, oh yeah, they're definitely running the show more and more. And that's why I think RoleCatcher's whole thing about beating the bots is so relevant here.
Okay, so, spill the tea. How do we beat the bots?
It really starts with your CV, your resume. The Streamline Your Job Search page on RoleCatcher, it talks about this thing called CV scoring, where algorithms are scanning your resume, looking for specific keywords, skills, whatever matches the job description.
Oh, wow. It's like they have a checklist or something.
Pretty much. So that's where a tool like RoleCatcher's CV analysis can be super helpful. It helps you tailor your resume to each specific job you apply for, so you're highlighting the exact experience and skills those algorithms are looking for.
It's like having a secret weapon, then, to get your application to the top of the pile.
Exactly. It's all about working smarter, not harder. And RoleCatcher's using technology to do that, which is Huge, especially because the job market, even for pharmacists, it's more competitive than ever these days.
Makes sense. So let's say you've impressed the bots, you've aced the interview, you've landed that awesome pharmacist job. What's next?
The career stages section in RoleCatcher's guide, that really caught my eye, especially their example for entry-level pharmacists.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of landing the job. But you're right, it's crucial to think about those next steps, how you're actually going to grow in your career. And it all starts with that strong foundation.
Yeah, and it seems like at the entry level for pharmacists, it's really about mastering those core responsibilities, proving you're dedicated to patient care, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. You're building credibility, showing you can handle the day-to-day, that you're reliable and knowledgeable. And they highlight things like communication, being organized, those soft skills we talked about, right alongside all the technical know-how. It's a lot to juggle, especially starting out. It's a lot to take in, for sure. And it doesn't end there, does it?
Hmm.
I mean, the guide also mentions advancement opportunities, right? Like moving up to become a pharmacy manager or maybe specializing in a specific area.
Yeah, there are tons of paths you can take, even becoming a clinical pharmacist, working more directly with patients on their treatment plans.
Oh, wow. I bet that's super rewarding. And they even talk about certifications, too. So, once you're a pharmacist, are you supposed to just keep collecting certifications forever, like Pokemon cards or something?
Huh. Not quite. It's
Yeah.
not about just, racking them up for the sake of it. It's more about being strategic.
Yeah.
Think about what you actually enjoy most about pharmacy, where you want to focus your energy.
Oh.
So let's say you really love working directly with patients, maybe even specializing in a certain disease state.
Mm.
There might be specific certifications for that, right? Or maybe the research side of pharmacy really calls to you, like helping develop new medications. Totally different path, different certifications. It's about customizing your expertise.
Okay, that makes more sense. So you're basically saying becoming a pharmacist is kind of like signing up for a lifetime of learning.
In the best way possible, yeah. And honestly, that's one of the things that makes this career so amazing. You're constantly learning, you're challenged, you're always on the cutting edge of a field that's changing so fast.
That's actually really cool. So from lab coats to algorithms, scanning resumes, we have covered a lot of ground today. For anyone listening who's thinking, whoa, being a pharmacist is way more intense than I ever realized, what would you say are the most important things to keep in mind?
I'd say definitely go in with your eyes open, know what you're getting into, but also don't lose that sense of excitement. It's a demanding job for sure. No sugarcoating that. You're going to need that passion for healthcare, that genuine desire to help people, that comfort level with both, like the science and the technology side of
Right,
things.
it's a unique combo.
It is. But if you're up to the challenge, a career in pharmacy, it really does offer incredible stability. You get to be a respected expert in your field, and, deep down, that you're making a real difference in people's lives every single day.
And that's the best reward, right? Knowing you're actually making a difference. So what do you think? Does all this make you even more excited about potentially becoming a pharmacist? Or maybe you just have a newfound respect for the people behind the pharmacy counter.
I hope so.
Either way, knowledge is power, folks. And speaking of power, RoleCatcher, they've got tons of free features on their site, tools to help you figure out your next career move.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
Go explore, see how those tools can work for you, help you reach your goals. And who knows, maybe a few years down the line, we'll be doing a whole deep dive on your dream pharmacy specialization.
That's a great goal to shoot for.
Until then, happy learning, everyone.